Hey everyone, so just out here in my garden at the moment. I want to show you my apple trees. I know this is a bit off topic, but kind of not. I've been saying that we're getting this year in the United Kingdom, we're going to have we're going to have like huge problems with the harvest that's come this year because of the wetness that we had early on in the year, and that gave that gave the farmers the choice, well, not the choice basically, the farmers couldn't plant any of their seeds that they normally would plant at that time of year. That will have a knock-on effect at the harvest, which is round about now. So just, I don't know if you can see that behind me. Guys, I've had these conifers for like years, and they've shot up this year, and I decided to make this arch. Can you see that? It's a bit brutal at the moment, guys, but you can see my vision. So I'm just walking over to my apple trees now, and I'll just show you what's happened to them. I'll just pick one off, in fact. Can you see that there? We've got some sort of fungal infection on the apples, and normally these apple trees are fine. Now, I'm going to take one of these apples to local garden centre later and find out what the problem is. Now, I think and I suspect that this has got something to do with the wet season that we had, although, it could be a whole host of reasons. But that's kind of what you've got. Now, if this is happening because of... Now, if this is happening because of the wet ground and the wetness in the, at the beginning of the year, then what else is happening, and how much is this bad weather? The change in... the change in climate, the change in weather, and then there's the global warming that people are putting into this, and it seems like all this is conjuring up huge problems with our agricultural system. And again, this is going to put more food on our already broken and our already weak food supply. So if this is happening to me in my little domestic garden that, we used to grow everything, and we tried doing tomato, in fact, I've cut them all down. We tried doing, we tried doing tomatoes earlier on this year, but they've just been an absolute catastrophic failure. I mean, we grew we had seven tomato plants growing. They all came up, they shot up fine. We had them in the sun. I don't know whether it's because there wasn't enough bees or they're not being pollinated. But, we didn't get one tomato, not one tomato. And I don't know what we're doing wrong. Last year we did potatoes, and we got a ton of potatoes. We did them in just big bins, just bins basically. The old bins you get from the from a warehouse, a cheap bin. Like what the old dustmen used to carry, probably about 4 foot high and maybe 2 foot wide. We filled that with, we did half fertilizer and half sawdust, because we had a load of sawdust left over from last year when we was cutting wood for the log burner. So I mixed it half and half with log shavings, basically log cuttings, sawdust and soil, and I just put a load of potatoes in there. We just filled it with water. I drilled some holes in the bottom of the bucket, and that seemed to be fine. We got loads and loads and loads of potatoes. It was really good because the girls kept going in there, and they were like, they had an affinity to that food. They had like a connection to that food, so they were eating the dinner and they were eating the potatoes. And all those little potatoes, the little scabby potatoes that they normally wouldn't eat, they were eating them all because they'd grown them. So, growing your own food is always best, but, we've had a catastrophic failure this year. I think I'm going to harvest these apples, and I'm going to when I go to the garden centre later, I'm going to ask the guy. I'm going to say, listen, is there anything I can do with these, or are they just all going into the bin? If they're going into the bin, what can we do? What can we do to make this better? We had a plum tree as well, in fact. You can't really see anything, but the plum tree, again, this is it here. So we've got a plum tree. That usually yields a lot of plums, and they are absolutely gorgeous, the plums from our plum tree. And we haven't had one this year, which is the same to go with our cherry tree as well. Our cherry tree hasn't given really any cherry trees. Now, I don't know if this is a thing nationwide, but what I can say is that you know, like when you notice, so when you've got a cherry tree in your garden, you can spot a cherry tree a mile away just by looking at the leaves. As with a plum tree, an apple tree, a pear tree, whatever, if you've got them in your garden and you grow them and you know what to look for, you spot them a mile away. Now, I've been looking at cherry trees just, you know, and again, just out the corner of my eye while I'm driving on the road, out traveling, whatever. And I've not seen any cherries this year. I don't know if that's the same with you guys, but this all feeds into this narrative that this year we're going to have a ridiculously low harvest. Right now, we're using food from last year. You know, food that we grew, harvested, imported last year. Remember, the United Kingdom, we are a net importer of food. I think it was the 14th of August, we would have run out of food if we only ate what we grew in this country. Next year, guys, this is going to be a lot worse. It might even be like, I don't know, June, July time, who knows? But, you know, you're seeing this all over. All you have to do is do a quick search online. Farming crisis, UK food crisis, UK farming crisis, all this sort of stuff, guys. You know, it feeds into this narrative. Food prices are going to be going up. That is absolutely inevitable. And there's also going to be food scarcity. I don't think anybody's going to run out of food in the United Kingdom. But I do think there's going to be mass shortages, and you know, you're not going to be able to get your normal products. You're not going to be able to get, you know, milk as you see fit, as you used to get it, because all these things, you know, the more people coming into this country, they're going to need food, they're going to need feeding. That's going to put a strain on the farming system. You can't import milk. You can't import eggs. You know, these are things that have to be, well, you can, of course, you know, but it's not financially viable to do this unless you're like, I don't know, the king, and you want your eggs from a certain battery in, I don't know, wherever the king gets his eggs from. So you see, all these things are coming to loggerheads, and all these things are coming to like this natural crescendo around about Christmas time. Now, I'm in the garden. I think it's probably going to be the last time I cut the grass now for, you know, until after Christmas maybe. We might do it, depending on how the weather goes, we might do it again. But yeah, you know, it's time to close down, batten up the hatches and get ready for winter, because I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't seem like there's very much global warming coming in this, you know, it doesn't seem like there's much global warming. Actually, this time of year, I was speaking to Sarah yesterday and we were saying, you know, I think we need to start lighting fires. We don't normally light a fire in the house until like the 1st of November is when like I officially, you know, try to light the first fire, and I'll keep that until I'll keep lighting a fire every day until the 1st of March. But it looks like we might have to start lighting fires earlier, because, you know, it's just getting colder and colder. And when that cold sets in, it's horrible. Nobody wants to be cold, guys, all right? It's absolutely horrible. We shouldn't be cold, but the reality is this winter we're going to have a lot of people struggling. And all this food crisis, this energy crisis, the water crisis, it's all going to hit us in our pockets. And that's going to hit us at the, what would you call it? At the utilities, you know. People are going to have to be choosing food on the tables or energy in their radiators, I guess. And it's absolutely insane, absolutely insanity what we're living in at the moment, guys. And that's it. I think this is going to be, I think I'm going to close it down here, guys, unless I can think of anything. Nope, that's it, guys. I think I've covered everything there. I just wanted to make this quick video and let you guys know that on a domestic level, my apples have been absolutely catastrophic. So have my plums, and so my plums, and so have my the cherries and tomatoes, guys. It's just been an absolute fail. We did get some good. I'll take some pictures of it and maybe have one on the video when it's ready. But we got a good we planted some sweet corn as well. That sweet corn's come on pretty well, and we've got some good sweet corn. But again, you know, it's not enough to feed us. It's more this planting food at the moment for us and our family. It's more of a learning curve, I think. So we understand what we can grow, realistic, what we can't, more importantly, because it's all well and good, like we did, thinking, you know, oh, it's easy to grow stuff, you just put it in the ground and add water. Well, you know, we did that and it didn't work. It worked with the potatoes, worked really well, but, you know, what did I just say, tomatoes failed, apples, I think that's got something to do with the wet weather we had. Also, plums, cherries, what else have we got? I don't know. All sorts of stuff, guys. It just seems like crops are failing and failing and failing around the UK. double that in with what the farmers have said as well. Guys, go and check it out for yourself, what the farmers are saying. UK farmers now, they've been warning of this for like since February time. You know, they've been saying, look guys, you know, the weather's it's too wet to plant any seeds. So that's going to have a knock-on effect, because if you miss those first couple of months, your flowers, or I don't know, crops or whatever they are, you know, they can't shoot up and they can't get that energy from the sun. So you've missed that whole harvest, which is what we've done this year, guys. Now double that in with a missed industrial harvest, a potentially catastrophic domestic harvest. By domestic harvest, I mean people's gardens, people's, you know, what people do in their own backyard. Guys, we are heading towards a real food crisis, I think. Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to shoot now. I hope I can, you know, do something with these apples. If, you know, maybe, I don't know, turn them into jam or make apple pies with them or something. Anyway, guys, I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to max a grid and I'll speak to you guys later.